Eala confident heading to Australian Open. Manila, Philippines. Alexandra Eala said she feels confident heading to her Australian Open main draw debut. The Filipino tennis hotshot drew that confidence from her semifinal finish at the ASB Classic in Auckland, New Zealand last week. My semis finish in Auckland was definitely great for confidence, said Eala in a press conference Friday. Getting matches always helps before slams, so I'm confident with how I'm playing. It doesn't mean that matches aren't going to be tough here, so I'm ready for playing here. Wild number 49 Eala opens her campaign against number 100 Alicia Parks of the United States on Monday. Falling in the first round of the qualifiers in each of the last 3 years, Eala expressed excitement at finally playing in the main draw of the first major of the year. The Australian Open is the only Grand Slam that Eala hasn't played it yet, making her debut at the Roland Garros, Wimbledon, and US Open last year. It feels great. I'm super excited, said Eala, who played one exhibition match at the Kuyon Classic, repeating over Croatian Donna Vekic, 6-3, 6-4, last Wednesday. You know, coming in as a main draw player gives a different vibe, especially with the struggles I had in the past coming here. So, I'm super excited coming here in full force, added Eala, who was hailed as the Kuyon Classic champ and was given the Yvonne Goolagong-Collie Trophy Friday. The sun had barely risen, yet the courts were already alive with echoes of bouncing balls and measured footsteps. Alexandra Eala stood at the baseline, racket in hand, eyes focused not on the opponent across the net but on the future unfolding before her. The Australian Open loomed ahead, not merely as a destination, but as a statement. She was ready. Confidence is not something that arrives suddenly. It is built, layer by layer, through early mornings, aching muscles, silent doubts, and unwavering belief. For Eala, that confidence had been forged across continents, from the humid courts of Southeast Asia to the demanding training grounds of elite international tennis. As she prepared for Melbourne, she carried with her not just skill, but a deep sense of purpose. The Australian Open represents more than a Grand Slam tournament. It is a proving ground where ambition meets reality, where youth faces experience, and where the fearless often surprise the world. Eala understood this well. She had watched the champions who came before her, studied their resilience, their composure under pressure, and their hunger for every point. But she was not there to imitate. She was there to compete, to challenge, and to carve her own narrative. Her confidence did not come from arrogance. It came from preparation. Every practice session was intentional. Every drill sharpened her instincts. Every setback taught her patience. She learned to trust her movement, her timing, and her ability to adapt. Tennis, after all, is not just a physical battle, it is a mental one. And Eala's mind had grown as strong as her forehand. Traveling to Australia meant stepping into unfamiliar conditions, faster courts, roaring crowds, and the weight of expectations. Yet Eala embraced these uncertainties. She welcomed the heat, the noise, and the intensity, seeing them not as obstacles but as fuel. Pressure, to her, was proof that she belonged on this stage. There was also something deeply personal in her journey. Carrying the hopes of a nation not traditionally known as a tennis powerhouse, Eala played with a quiet pride. Every match was an opportunity to inspire young athletes watching from afar, children who might one day pick up a racket and believe that global stages were within reach. As the tournament approached, Eala reflected on how far she had come. The long flights, the sacrifices, the moments of loneliness, and the small victories that kept her going. Confidence, she realized, was not the absence of fear, but the courage to move forward despite it. She knew there would be tough opponents, grueling rallies, and moments when momentum would shift. But she trusted herself to respond. Walking into Melbourne Park for the first time that season, Eala felt a calm determination settle over her. The courts gleamed under the Australian sun, and the air buzzed with anticipation. This was where dreams were tested, and she was ready for the test. Win or lose, Eala's confidence heading into the Australian Open symbolized something greater than results. It represented growth, belief, and the fearless pursuit of excellence. She stepped onto the court not just as a competitor, but as a young athlete embracing her moment. The match would begin soon. The crowd would watch. The world would take notice. And Alexandra Eala, confident and composed, would swing freely, knowing that this was only the beginning of her story.